and welcome to Who Dares Rolls, Mumbo Jumbo for March, the end of March. We've still not checked the date. I could have got my phone, could have checked. I haven't done that. So here we are, catching up again, hopefully with less distractions from the last episode, where it was, that was fraught, shall we say. Give it a pop, see how we do. Let's see how this goes. How are you all? All good? All fine? Had a lovely week or whatever it is between when we last did this thing. I'm sure it's all been fine and dandy. Did you go to Aircon? That went on. I didn't mention Aircon, but Aircon went on up near Harrogate. Very good convention. I love it. I would go more regularly. It's yearly. If it was nearer, it's just a bit of a trek, and it's financially a bit of a killer at the moment to go all the way up to north for that, but it is a lovely convention. Really enjoyed it. If you went, I'd like to know, did you have fun? They're lovely. Expo should be going to this year, and that wraps that up. Quite a bit to cover, so that's crack on, shall we? I guess with what I've been playing. We played Escape Plan again the other week with Ben's Escape Plan, but we threw in, there was a couple of modular expansions, tiny little expansions. One of them added like player powers, and the other one added like missions, and they were a really nice addition. The player powers are really good. They meant you were asynchronously powered. My guy's ability was to be able to open lockboxes without needing keys, which actually then I formed the strategy of my game, and I scored very well. I didn't win, but I did score very well doing that. And it also added the missions, which meant there was stuff you should do before you could escape. They were and they give you a power if you completed that as well. And that actually synced up really well with what I was doing. I've said before, Escape Plan, really enjoy Escape Plan. Vita Lasada, it's a heavier side of Euro, but I think the theme and the mechanisms work very well together in it. And I really enjoy it, actually. It's a fun puzzle to work out with a good theme. And I found that the additions of the tiny little expansion bits just added a nice little chef's kiss, as they say, to the game. And I really enjoyed it. I do really enjoy it. That's my favourite of all the Lasada games, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it is. I think it by far head and shoulders above the others. I find the others kind of not as thematically as enjoyable and fun. But yeah, Escape Plan for Vita Lasada, very much enjoy some of that. What else have we played? Frosthaven, we've played, of course, more of that. I'm not going to linger too heavily on that one. We did play a quest the other day, which really fucking frustrating. There was a puzzle. You had an option to either puzzle out a quest, do a puzzle version of it, or a fighty version. I said, you know what, let's try a puzzle one. Wondering what the puzzle would be. And as I said in the last video, level design and a lot of this stuff is much better. It feels like you've got kind of objectives and stuff to be doing, which is kind of cool. And this one, you had to find ingredients to throw into a pot, and essentially once you finished the mission, you got all the ingredients, you went to the pot, and then you were faced in the book with essentially a touch of algebra, a puzzle. You had to work out the value of all the ingredients you're putting in the pot and come to a number, which you then flick through the book, find the volume number, and hopefully if you've added the numbers up correctly, you will get the entry you need. And we did that. We worked it out between ourselves. Took us probably about 10 minutes or so, maybe a quarter of an hour, I don't know. A little bit of time anyway to do that. And we did it, and we opened the entry mark, and we get to the entry point, and it says, yes, well, that's correct, you've done the right thing. Excellent, well done. Pat on the back, we've done well. However, the ingredient quantities are wrong, so now you just need to make a random number up to complete this puzzle. Very frustrating. Great to have solved it. That moment of elation, yay, we've solved it. No, we haven't. Now we're going to have to do some thinking, but now there's no logic base behind this. It's pretty much a random grab. Yeah, shitty design. Didn't like it. Annoyed me immensely. Annoyed all of us, because you kind of had the satisfaction of actually getting the puzzle correct, and then the annoyance of having to try and work the fuck out what you were trying to do next, which kind of pissed me off. And I can hear the dog barking because the baby monitor's on. Well, there we go. We did well. We got as far as we did. Hold that thought. My dog's in the garden. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure he's going to be a dickhead. So anyway, yeah, that was really annoying. Other than that, Frosthaven really enjoying. We're now into the winter. We got attacked the outpost got attacked in our last game we played, the first game of winter. We're digging that. I'm feeling we're coming close to the point where I could do with a break. Saying, I think a little bit of just to try something else for just a week. I will propose that. There is on the cards, we have discussed playing World of Warcraft, possibly over Easter. I need to dig it up and kind of get my head around the rules of it. but that's a thing. Tapestry. So we played Tapestry the other night with the new expansion, which is the Fantasies and Future expansion. I have a copy of this because Ben ordered me one off of Stonemaier Games at a more reasonable price. I think it's about 20 odd quid for it. It adds a bunch of stuff into it. Maybe a load more Tapestry cards, some more civs, some more areas to build your bases on, and a consolidated rulebook. It's a bit of tech, and that's about it. It's just basically a bunch of cards. It adds into the that's what it's mainly adding in the kind of nice little wallety packet thing. Played that. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed what it's done. They're like fantasy races now. I think Bob we played, he had werewolves. I had some guys were floated across the maps. The tech cards, the new Tapestry cards are cool because they have the wards that trigger over, depending if you're putting the card down to a card to the left of it or you're putting a card down to the right of it, it will trigger these different wards, and they're quite powerful and they give you more stuff. And it's all very much more of the same, which I love in an expansion. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's Tapestry, us, Fantasies and Futures. If you're a big fan of Tapestry, then this is just more of the same. It's the last expansion they're doing for it. And I really enjoyed it, of what I've seen of it. There's a few more factions in there we haven't played around with yet. Lots of Tapestry cards we've not played around with yet, but it just adds a lot more of all of the same. Very much enjoying that. I was going to mention that in the news, but we mentioned it now. We played a game of that and I did really well. Very good. Love Tapestry. We've covered this before. Absolutely adore Tapestry, and that is just more of the same goodness. So if you have Tapestry and you have all the other bits and pieces for it, that currently comes highly recommended for me because it's just more of the same and it adds just a bit more pep. And I really like what they've done with the new Tapestry cards that have gone in there because they give you more options. There you go. Let's do some news. News time.
Here is the news.
So top news. So they've announced a Century Big Box. There is going to release a Big Box edition of all 3 of the Century games in it for whatever extortionate amount of money that's going to be. Who knows? I think it comes with a play map. And it also comes with an additional expansion for Spice Road that I think comes with clear sleeves. So you can sleeve some of your cards and add stuff to it, which we've kind of seen before in Dead Reckoning, the pirate game, and some other bits and pieces. I've got all 3 of the games and not played with them all yet, as we've said, together. But I do like Spice Road, and I quite enjoyed the other Tapestry things. I mean, I don't know how much the Big Box is going to be. Probably extortionate. Whether you're going to play all that, I don't know. They're good games, but yes. The expansion apparently is going to be released separately, but only on the Board Game Geek store. It's just a bit frustrating because that is a lot harder to buy stuff off them now with a shitload of postage on it, I believe. I've not bought anything off there for a long time. So hopefully that is available in some capacity without breaking the bank, because that looks kind of cool. And that's that anyway. So if you're a big fan of Century, you probably already own it. If you haven't, Spice Road definitely is a pretty cool buy, depending on the cost of the Big Box. I don't know whether there's value in it, depending on what it comes in at. But yeah, I do like the Century games. They're good fun. Then there was the whole... I meant to mention this in the last video. There was a whole Board Game Geek thing of Gloomhaven and Brass, but switching... I think Gloomhaven was overtaken by Brass on the hotness, as the #1 rated thing. And then all the fanboys of both types then downvoted it with 1 vote, and it swapped places 3 or 4 times. And no one gave a shit, really. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But anyway, that happened. But if that's of interest of Rock Your World, then fine. Frankly, I just couldn't give less of a shit if I tried, really. It means nothing. But there we go. That happened. So yeah, new Tapestry expansion we've covered. This turned up the other day. This is the Gloomhaven Envelope X Award. So in the original Gloomhaven, there was a puzzle that you could complete to open an envelope X that actually wasn't contained in the game. You had to go and print and play your own components to be able to use it. I won't say much more because it don't want to spoil much, but essentially that they did when they did the Frosthaven campaign is you could order the physical version of the envelope X, which is a character that you could unlock. So yes, that is what is in there. I think we came close to completing the envelope X puzzle. I believe on the first thing. I thought it was kind of a nice thing to have. Potentially we could play with it in Frosthaven, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to do any more than that to spoil, but these just turned up and it's here. So there you go. There's that. But I'm not going to open that and spoil it because people might lose their shit. But it's a character you can play. This turned up. It's Twilight Inscription. Oh! So this was for some number 2. This was my late lamented birthday present. He actually ordered for me and took forever to turn up, apparently. So this is the roll and write version of Twilight Imperium. I've skimmed through it. It looks interesting. It's one I want to get to the table and certainly play. It's lots of coloury boards and colouring stuff in. But without playing it, I can't say more than that. But, you know, Twilight Imperium is fun. If we can play this maybe a fraction less of the time, I'm not convinced that is going to be the case, but we could try. So at some point this will have to get aired to the table as well. But yes, cool. Twilight Inscription. I've heard differing things on it, so I look forward to giving it a go, giving it a roll. That's that. That's all of that. Shit, that is all of that. I know there's been a spate of stuff going around of people's likes and dislikes. I found it's the board game I don't like. 5 Tribes. Don't like fucking Five Tribes. I mentioned it before. It's an absolutely good waste of a fucking wank time, in my opinion. So, yeah, whatever. Just never do it. The board game I think is overhyped. I'm going to go for the old classic of Scythe. I find Scythe mechanically sound, looks gorgeous, brilliant components. Has a really poopy end game that ends very quickly before you know what's going on, and ultimately for me is not the sum of its parts. I wanted that mech war game thing, and it's not that. Maybe the new Scythe Part 2 will maybe tick some boxes for me, which I'm sure Ben will be getting. The underappreciated game, Resicana, I think is underappreciated. Here it is, here. I really enjoy Resicana. It's got 2 expansions out for it at the moment. It's a real tight little deck buildery, engine buildery game by Tom Lehman, the designer for Race for the Galaxy. Really good, and I can't praise this enough for the actual insert that comes with the base game that works for all the expansions and actually is really easy to put away, really convenient, fucking brilliant piece of design. And yeah, Resicana, I picked this up for about 25 quid. If you can get it at that price, it's an absolute steal if you're a fan of that engine buildery, deck buildery feel, but on a very tight, restricted sort of play time and what you have to do, what you have to work with. And you have 8 cards essentially to build their deck, and that's it. But yeah, we play that a lot. That's our go-to post-evening game if we've got some time, about an hour or so to burn. Resicana. Love that. What else is there? Board game I love Dune Imperium. It's not there. It's kind of, there's one of it there. It's over there somewhere. I did love Dune Imperium. Again, I've got all the deluxe goodies of that, and I haven't played that since, so I quite want to give that a go at some point again. Love a bit of Dune Imperium. Board game I should play again. I could play again and again. Well, we've covered this. Tapestry, I could play that happily ad nauseum at the moment because I just love how that ticks my brain, that puzzle that it's asking me to do. Board game I should play more often. Snowdonia, I think I certainly agree. I do love Snowdonia. I've got the big master set. I haven't played nearly enough of that since I've had it, and they're really threatening another expansion to that. But yeah, it's one I do enjoy. Snowdonia. It's a simple little worker placement, really good mechanisms, really good design, got loads of ways of different playing. Yeah, I haven't really touched the sides on having played that nearly enough. Board game that got me into the hobby, I suppose we're going to say, is Judge Dredd the board game, which is all the way up there, the yellow box at the top. Back in the 80s, had that. It was one of my earliest, definitely I think one of my first Games Workshop purchases, and I was probably about 8 or 9 at the time. Loved Judge Dredd, and it's just been reprinted actually, a new version of it, so I don't know what the difference is. It's been polished up essentially, but yeah, that's probably what started in my board game road to where we are now. The board game that changed my life, I'm going to say Risk Legacy, because purely just the first encounter with the Risk and that legacy mechanisms and the kind of Christmas morning feel of all the really cool shit that happened when you played that. It just has not been bettered. It stands head and shoulders as just a fantastic experience. Really enjoyed that, and I liked a lot of the following legacy stuff we had, although I still feel that probably Risk Legacy is still the high watermark for that. There was some good stuff in the pandemic games, but I really enjoyed what Risk Legacy did. Board game that surprised me the most, Escape Plan. We've just covered that earlier, but I did not expect as what we got out of that, and I very much enjoyed it. My guilty pleasures, they're going to be Cockroach Poker, because that just gets played an awful lot, or Kakalaka Poker, or Cockroach Poker Gold or Royale. They're about a tenner. You can get them for an absolute steal. Trick-taking-y type sort of bluffing, lying type game. Brilliant fun. Played with any age group. Really good. Love it. Love a bit of cockroach poker, and kind of pairing that is Fluff, which is the Liar's dice game that came to the pound shop for £1. And we've covered it already. I mean, that is sheer value for money that game has had out of it, and just easy to teach and pull out and play. Fantastic. Just highly recommended if there's any still scattered around out there. The board game I should have played but I haven't, probably Catan. Never played Catan. No inclination to play Catan now at this point. Not really my thing, but you know, it's one of those founding fathers of board games that everyone kind of got to through the Euro thing to get to modern gaming. I went a different track of a lot of the American trash stuff and all that sort of rubbish, and probably Games Workshop. Never got into Catan. Don't get it. Never played it. Don't know how it works. Don't give a shit. The board game most decided for coming up. Well, I think the two probably on my kind of on my radar is the Queen's Dilemma, because King's Dilemma was fantastic. I did like the look of Queen's Dilemma. It was on Kickstarter. Didn't back it. Maybe at some point I'll pick it up down the road. I've got a lot on, as we know, but it's one I'd quite like to visit eventually. And the other one which really took my interest is Artisans of Splendid Vale, which is coming from Renegade Games, and again it was on Kickstarter I think a little while ago. I kind of missed and fell off my radar, and I've seen bits of it recently. It's a big storytelling game, lots of legacy-ish components. I love the idea that you've got different storybooks for each character. And it's it's just doing some cool new stuff. It's worth it. It looks gorgeous. The components look astounding. It's a bit price heavy. It's coming out I think soon, but yeah, all of what that looks like it's doing as a storytelling sort of tabletop game looks fascinating. I would not be surprised if Charlie hasn't got that on his radar, or even may have backed it. I don't know, but I'd be interested to see that when it eventually emerges. Cool. Other than that, finished The Last of Us. Really good. I really enjoyed The Last of Us. If I had critique, maybe we could have seen more of the infected in it. But on the whole, I think it did a pretty cracking job of taking the video game and giving us a TV show based on it. I thought it was really solid stuff. It looked gorgeous. Acted really out the park by all the team, everyone in it. Brilliant stuff. Well worth a watch if you're a fan of the video games. Mandalorian, we've had 3 episodes of that now. That kind of it seems to be more finding its feet. The last one was a bit of a confusing episode because it kind of was channeling a bit of Andor. So I don't know where this is going, so we'll see. But it's definitely improved over the last couple of weeks from the first episode. Is there anything else I've watched? Possibly stuff, but nothing is making my brain go, oh yeah, I did this, I should tell you about that. No, blanking out. That's it. This is a whistle-stop tour. There we go. That really is. That zips through stuff. Just to get a video out more than anything. That's it. What are your plans? What's coming up? We've got the expo coming up in a few months' time, so I need to get preppage done for that. I would like to play some more stuff that we're not playing at the moment. I do want to get Inscription played. Hopefully we can get World of Warcraft played, and other stuff. But there we go. That is all of that. That is where we're at the moment. That is what I'm doing. I've still got to drop. Charlie has his videos he's done, the play videos that I've got ready to upload and get done. I'll go that soon. And there's another video of an unboxing he's done, which I also need to dig up and do that. And I probably need to do stuff as well. But there we go. I just wanted to get something kind of down and dusted. And there we are. We're down and we've dusted. And with a minimum of disruption, may I say, which is quite an achievement. Fuck me, that was impressive, wasn't it? Right then, that's it. Have fun. Have a good week. I will be back soon, have no doubt, with some news and stuff and things and more of the same. Done. Now I'm going to rest.